Hi everyone, I'm Shirley Liao. In this lesson, I will introduce Microsoft Excel 2007. You will learn the basics of spreadsheets, numbers, labels, and formulas. Using formulas, charting, and analyzing data. Everyone needs to perform simple math. Business need to keep track of sales and profits. And the individuals need to keep track of budgets. In the old days, people not only had to write down numbers on paper, but they also had to do all their calculations by hand, or with the aid of a calculator. That's why people use Excel. Instead of writing numbers on paper, they can type numbers on the computer. Instead of adding or subtracting columns or rows of numbers by hand, Excel can do it for you automatically. Basically, Excel makes it easy to type and modify numbers and then calculate new results correctly and quickly. Besides calculating numbers, spreadsheets can also store lists of data organized in rows and columns. Excel's data is placed in present cells that are identified by their columns and rows. For example, the first cell is A1. Information contained in a cell in one worksheet can be referenced by its location elsewhere in that page or worksheet, or in another worksheet in the same workbook. While primarily used for calculations performed with formulas and functions, Excel can also be used to create complex tables that allow for information to be stored and filtered effectively. Understanding spreadsheets. Excel organizes numbers in rows and columns. An entire page of rows and columns is called a spreadsheet or a worksheet. A collection of one or more worksheets is stored in a file called workbook. Each row is identified by a number such as 1 or 249, and each column is identified by letters such as A, G, or B, F. The intersection of each row and column identifies a cell, which contains one of three items: numbers, text, labels, formulas. Numbers provide the data and the formulas calculate that data to produce a useful result, such as adding sales results for the week. Of course, just displaying numbers on the screen may be confusing if you don't know what those numbers mean. So labels simply identify what numbers represent. Storing stuff in a spreadsheet. Every cell can contain a number, a label, or a formula. To type anything into a spreadsheet, you must first select or click in the cell or cells, and then type a number or text. Typing data into a single cell. To type data in a single cell, follow these steps. Choose one of the following to select a single cell. Click a cell. Press the up, down, right, left arrow keys to highlight a cell. Type a number, such as 34.29 or 198. A label, such as test returns or a formula. Typing data in multiple cells. After you type data in a cell, you can press one of the following 4 keystrokes to select a different cell. Enter. Select the cell below in the same column. Tab. Select the cell to the right in the same row. Shift Enter. Select the cell above in the same column. Shift Tab. Select the cell to the left in the same row. If you type data in cell A1 and press Enter, Excel selects the next cell below, which is A2. If you type data in A2 and press Tab, Excel selects the cell to the right, which is B2. However, what if you want to type data in a cell, such as A1, and then have Excel select the next cell to the right, B1? Or what if you want to type data in cells A1 and A2, but then jump back to type additional data in cells B1 and B2? To make this easy, Excel lets you select a range of cells, which essentially tells Excel, see all the cells I just highlighted. I only want to type data in those cells. After you select multiple cells, you can type data and press Enter. Excel selects the next cell down in the same column. When Excel reaches the last cell in the column, it selects the top cell of the column to the right. To select multiple cells for typing data in, follow these steps. Highlight multiple cells by choosing one of the following. Move the mouse pointer over a cell. Hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse to highlight multiple cells. Release the left mouse button when you have selected enough cells. Hold down the Shift key and press the up, down, right, left arrow keys to highlight multiple cells. Excel selects the cell that appears in the upper left corner of your selected cells. Type a number, label, or formula. Press Enter. Excel selects the cell directly below the preceding cell if the preceding cell appeared at the bottom of the Select column. Excel highlights the top cell in the column that appears to the right. Repeat these steps until you fill your selected cells with data. Click outside the selected cells or press an arrow key to tell Excel not to select the cells anymore.
Formatting numbers and labels. When you first create a spreadsheet, numbers and labels appear as plain text. Plain labels might look boring, but plain numbers, such as 8495 or 0.39, can be difficult to read and understand. If the numbers are supposed to represent currency amount, or percentage 39%. To make labels visually interesting and the numbers appear more descriptive of what they actually represent, you need to format your data after you type it into a spreadsheet. You can format a cell or range of cells after you've already typed in data or before you type in any data. If you format cells before typing any data you type in will appear in your chosen format. Formatting numbers. To format the appearance of numbers, follow these steps. Select one or more cells by using the mouse or keyboard. To select multiple cells, draw the mouse or hold the Shift key while pressing the arrow keys. Click the Home tab. Click the Number Format List box in the Number group. A pull-down menu appears. The Number group also displays three icons that let you format numbers as currency, percentage, or with commas in one click. If you click the downward point arrow to the right of the accounting number format icon. You can choose different currency symbols to use. Click a number format style, such as percentage or scientific. Excel displays your numbers in your chosen format. Display in negative numbers. Because many people use spreadsheets for business, they often want negative numbers to appear highlighted so they can see them easier. Excel can display negative numbers in parentheses or in red so you cannot miss them. To define how negative numbers appear in your spreadsheet, follow these steps. Select the cell or range of cells that you want to modify. Click the Home tab. Click the Format icon in the Cells group. Choose Format Cells. The Format Cells dialog box appears. Choose currency or number from the category list. You can choose how to format negative numbers only if you format your numbers by using the currency or number category. Click a negative number format and then click OK button. If any of your numbers become negative in the cell or cells you selected in step 1, Excel automatically displays those negative numbers in the negative number format you chose. Formatting decimal numbers. If you format cells to display numbers with decimal place, such as 23.09, you can modify how many decimal places appear. To define the number of decimal places, follow these steps. Select the cell or cells that contain the numbers you want to format. Click the Home tab. Click in the Number Format list box and choose a format that displays decimal places such as number or percentage. Excel formats the numbers in your chosen cells. You can click the Increase Decimal, increases the number of decimal places displayed, or Decrease Decimal icon, decrease the number of decimal places displayed in the number group on the Home tab. Formatting cells. To make your data look prettier, Excel can format the appearance of cells to change the font, background color, text color, or font size used to display data in a cell. Excel provides two ways to format cells. You can use Excel's built-in formatting styles, or you can apply different types of formatting individually. Some of the individual formatting styles you can choose include font and font size, text styles, underline, italic and bold, text and background color, borders, alignment, text, wrapping, and orientation. Formatting cells with built-in styles. Excel provides a variety of pre-designed formatting styles that you can apply to one or more cells. To format cells with a built-in style, follow these steps. select the cell or cells that you want to format with a built-in style. Click the Home tab. Click the Cell Styles icon in the Styles group. A pull-down menu appears, listing all the different styles you can choose. Move the mouse pointer over a style. Excel displays a live preview of how your select cells will look with that particular style. Click the style you want. Excel applies your chosen style to the selected cells. Formatting fonts and text styles. Different fonts can emphasize parts of your spreadsheet, such as using one font to label columns and rows and another font or font size to display the actual data. Text styles, bold, underline, and italic, can also emphasize data that appears in the same font or font size. To change the font size, and the text style of one or more cells, follow these steps. Select the cell or cells that you want to change the font and font size. Click the Home tab. Click the Font List box. A pull-down menu of different fonts appears. Click the font you want to use. Choose one of the following methods to change the font size. Click the Font Size List box and then choose a font size, such as 12 or 16. Click the Font Size List box and type a value such as 7 or 15. Click the Increase Font Size or Decrease Font Size icon until your data appears in the size you want. Click one or more text style icons, bold, italic, underline. Formatting with color. Each cell displays data in a font color and a fill color. The font color defines the color of the numbers and letters that appear inside a cell. The default font color is black. The fill color defines the color that fills the background of the cell. The default fill color is white. To change the font and fill colors of cells, follow these steps. Select the cell or cells that you want to color. Click the Home tab. Click the downward pointing arrow that appears to the right of the font color icon. A color palette appears. Click the color you want to use for your text. The color you select appears directly on the font color icon. The next time you want to apply the same color to a cell, you can click the font color icon directly instead of the downward pointing arrow to the right of the font color icon. Click the downward pointing arrow that appears to the right of the fill color icon. A color palette appears. Click a color to use to fill the background of your cell. The color you select appears directly on the fill color icon. The next time you want to apply the same color to a cell, you can click the fill color icon directly instead of the downward pointing arrow to the right of the fill color icon. Adding borders. For another way to highlight one or more cells, you can add borders. Borders can surround the entire cell. or just the top, bottom, left, or right side of a cell. To add borders to a cell, follow these steps. Select one or more cells. Click the Home tab. Click the downward pointing arrow to the right of the border icon. A pull-down menu appears. You can select bottom border, top border, left border, right border, no border, all borders, outside borders, think box borders, bottom double border, thick bottom borders, and so on. Click a border style. Excel displays your chosen borders around the cells you selected. Naming cells. One problem with the go-to command is that most people won't know which cell contains the data they want to find. For example, if you want to view the cell that contains the total amount of money you own for your income tax, you probably don't want to memorize that this cell is G68. To help you identify certain cells, Excel lets you give them descriptive names. To name a cell or range of cells, follow these steps. Select the cell or cells that you want to name. Click in the Name box, which appears directly above the A column heading. Type a descriptive name without any space and then press Enter. After you name a cell, you can jump to it quickly by following these steps. Click the downward pointing arrow to the right of the name box. A list of named cells appears. Click the named cell you want to view. Excel displays your chosen cell. Eventually, you may want to edit or delete a name for your cells. To delete or edit a name, follow these steps. Click the Formulas tab. Click the Name Manager icon. The Name Manager dialog box appears. Edit or delete the named cell as follows. To edit the name, click the cell name you want to edit, and then click the Edit button. An Edit Name dialog box appears, where you can change the name or the cell reference. To delete the name, click the cell name you want to delete and then click the Delete button. Click Close button. Aligning and formatting test. As you begin to type text into cells in Excel, you might want to create a heading for your worksheet or headings and content for your columns and rows. As you do this, you may find the content you enter overruns the preset borders of the cells, or that it needs to be adjusted to display your information clearly and effectively. Let's practice the example. With the Home tab select, type a heading for the worksheet in the first cell, A1. Scroll through the cells that you want your heading to span. Open the Merge and Center drop-down arrow and click Merge and Center. With the cells still selected, click to change the alignment to also be centered vertically within the merged cells. Select a cell with text and then draw through the text in the formula bar to select it. In the Font group of the Home tab, change the text format to bold. Click the Font Size Increase button to increase font size. Click the font color drop-down arrow to choose a different font color. Click outside the Merge cells to see the new alignment and format applied to the selected cells. With the ribbon's Home tab select, type a heading for a column of numbers. Type a series of numbers into the cells beneath the heading. Draw through the cells to select them. Click $sign in the number group. The number and the 2 decimal places are applied by default. Click the Decrease Decimal button twice to remove the decimal. Click the drop-down arrow to display other number formats. Select format that suits your needs. Editing a spreadsheet. The two ways to add a spreadsheet are edit the data itself, such as the labels, numbers, and the formulas that make up a spreadsheet. Edit the physical layout of the spreadsheet, such as editing or deleting rows and columns, or widening or shrinking the width or height of rows and columns. Editing data in a cell. To add data in a single cell, follow these steps. Double-click the cell that contains the data you want to edit. Excel displays a cursor in your selected cell. Edit your data by using the backspace or delete key, or by typing new data. If you click a cell, Excel displays the contents of that cell in the formula bar. You can click and edit data directly in the formula bar, which can be more convenient for editing large amounts of data such as a formula. Filling in your data. As you continue working in Excel, you can add more columns with headings and rows of data to begin to make the information look clean and professional. When you add data to cells, it can overrun the borders at times. You can use the Format feature in the Cells group of the Home tab to make the information fit inside the columns or rows of your worksheet. Let's practice the example. With the Home tab select, fill in more cells with information. With some of the columns not large enough to show all information, drag through the column headings to select the field in columns. The cursor turns into a down arrow as you select a column. Click Format, then click Auto Fit Column Width. The information in the columns fits into the newly adjusted column width. Changing the size of rows and columns with the mouse. Using the mouse can be a quick way to modify the size of rows and columns. To change the height of a row or the width of a column, follow these steps. Move the mouse pointer over the bottom line of a row heading, such as the 2 or 18 heading, or move the mouse pointer over the right line of the column heading, such as A or D. The mouse pointer turns into a two-way pointing arrow. Hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse. Excel resize your row or column. Release the left mouse button when you are happy with the size of your row or column. Typing the size of rows and columns. If you need to resize a row or column to precise value, it's easier to type a specific value into the row height or column width dialog box instead. To type a value into a row height or column width dialog box, follow these steps. Click the Home tab. Click the row or column heading that you want to resize. Excel highlights your entire row or column. Click the Format icon that appears in the Cells group. A pull-down menu appears. Click Height or Width. The row height or column width dialog box appears. Type a value and then click OK button. Excel resize your row or column. Inserting a new column or row. If you determine that you need to add more information, you can always add a column or row to your spreadsheet. After selecting a column to the right of the one to which you want, insert a new column, or the row below where you want to add a row. You can click Insert to add a column or row, and a new column or row for information is inserted. Let's practice the example. On the Home tab, select a column before which you want to insert new columns. Click the Insert drop-down arrow, or just click Insert. Click Insert Sheet Columns. A new selected column is inserted. Click the Format Copy Paintbrush. Select a formatting option from adjacent columns. The new column is ready to fill in. You can grab the column border. The cursor turns into with arrows to move the border to within the column. Hiding and unhiding columns. Sometimes you might want to print or display a worksheet without certain information. Although you want to maintain that information for future use. Although you could save the workbook under a different name and then delete the column. Excel lets you hide a column and later reveal or unhide it. Let's practice the example. With the Home tab select the column you want to hide. Click the Format drop-down arrow. Click Hide and Unhide. Click Hide Columns. The column is hidden for display or print. Click the column names to select columns on both sides of hidden column. The cursor points down when columns are selected. Click the Format drop-down arrow. Click Hide and Unhide. Click Hide Columns. Editing Sheets. For greater flexibility, Excel lets you create individual spreadsheets that you can save in a single workbook. When you load Excel, it automatically provides you with 3 sheets, but you can add more if you need them. To add a new sheet, choose one of the following. Click the Insert Worksheet icon that appears to the right of your existing tabs, or press Shift F11. Click the Home tab. Click the downward pointing arrow next to the Insert icon in the Cells group, and then choose Insert Sheet. Renaming sheets. By default, Excel gives each sheet a generic name, such as Sheet 1. To give your sheet a more descriptive name, follow these steps. Choose one of the following. Double-click the Sheet tab that you want to rename. Excel highlights the entire sheet name. Click the Sheet tab you want to rename. Click the Home tab. Click the Format icon in the Cells group and choose Rename Sheet. Right-click the Sheet tab you want to rename. When a pop-up menu appears, choose Rename. Type a new name for your sheet and press Enter when you are done. Your new name appears on the Sheet tab. Rearranging sheets. You can rearrange the order that your sheets appear in your workbook. To rearrange a sheet, follow these steps. Move the mouse pointer over the Sheet tab that you want to move. Hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse. The downward pointing black arrow points where Excel will place your sheet. Release the left mouse button to place your sheet in a new order. Deleting a sheet. Using multiple sheets may be handy, but you may want to delete a sheet if you don't need it. If you delete a sheet, you also delete all the data stored on the sheet. To delete a sheet, follow these steps. Click on the sheet that you want to delete. Choose one of the following. Right-click the tab of the sheet you want to delete. When a pop-up menu appears, click Delete. Click the Home tab. Click the downward pointing arrow that appears to the right of the delete icon in the Cells group and choose Delete Sheet. If your sheet is empty, Excel deletes the sheet right away. If your sheet contains data, a dialog box appears to warn you that you lost any data stored on the sheet. Click Delete. Excel deletes your sheet along with any data on it. Clearing data. After you create a spreadsheet, you may need to delete data, formulas, or just the formatting that defines the appearance of your data. To clear out one or more cells of data, formatting or both data and formatting. Follow these steps. Click the Home tab. Select the cell or cells that contain the data you want to clear. Click the downward pointing arrow to the right of the Clear icon in the editing group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose one of the following. Clear all. Delete the data and any formatting applied to that cell or cells. Clear formats. Leave the data in the cell, but strips away any formatting. Clear contents. Leaves the formatting in the cell, but deletes the data. Clear comments. Leaves data and formatting, but deletes any comments added to the cell. Working with data, functions, and formulas. Excel 2007 is a very powerful spreadsheet program, which means that it can be used to calculate values based on the figures entered into the cells using formulas, which are customized relationships that are placed into the formula bar, and the functions, which are standard calculations like the average of a set of numbers. Excel provides numerous features to work with data effectively. In a large spreadsheet, you can use the Find feature to locate specific items in cells. And as you construct a spreadsheet, you can use Excel's artificial intelligence to fill in blank cells and complete a series of cells based on data that has already been entered. The Formulas tab of the Excel 2007 ribbon provides a wide array of functions, from very simple calculations like averages or maxima values to complex and specialized functions for financial and other types of applications. The Excel function library contains the many Excel function options broken down by category. Let's see the Formula tab of the ribbon. Click Formulas tab for the calculations. Insert function. Auto sum. Recently used. Date and time. This is function library. More functions. Name manager to name a range. Defined names. Formula auditing to check precedence. Watch window to see results and calculation options. Finding data. As you create large spreadsheets, you might need to locate specific words, phrases, or numbers on a complex worksheet. In the Editing group of the Home tab, the Find and Select tool lets you enter search parameters and quickly locate specific items in your worksheet. Let's practice the example. Find and select. With the Home tab select, click Find and select. Click Find. Enter a search term. Click Find All. Instances of the search term are listed in the Find and Replace window. The first instance in a cell is selected in the worksheet. Click Find Next. The next instance of search term is selected in the worksheet. Fill in a series. Excel has its own way to guessing what you might want in the rest of a group of cells, in which you have already entered some data and automatically filling in those cells based on your entries. Filling a series simply copies the data from one cell through a group of cells that you draw through. In the case of formulas, the cell references are adjusted accordingly. Autocomplete extrapolates from your previous entries to guess the results. Let's practice the example. Autofill options. Select the cell with the values to fill in. Draw the selection handle through the rest of cells. The cursor turns into a coarse shape. Excel copies the cells by default. Click the Autofill options draw-down arrow. Select from the options to fill the series or formatting or both. Click Copy Cells. Enter the beginning of sequence of cells that have a probable order. Grab the selection handle and begin drawing through the next set of cells. Excel fills in the values of the cells based on the previous entries. Click the Autofill options draw-down arrow. Select from the options to fill the series or formatting or both. Click Fill Series. Entering days and times. Days and time are specific numbers that you can enter into Excel cells, and the default formats for dates and times are used. You can adjust the formats by using the number group in the Home tab of the ribbon. Let's practice the example. In the Home tab of the ribbon, type a date in a cell.对了，先打一个 date。你应该是先打 date，然后之后。In the Home tab of the ribbon, type a date in a cell. Type a time. Click elsewhere in the worksheet or press Tab or an arrow key. The time is entered with a default format. 所以是什么？从哪边？从5开始。所以我直接讲。Select the data in the worksheet. Click the dialog launch icon for the number group in the Home tab. In the Number tab of the Format Cells dialog, select the data format you want. Click OK. The date and time are set. You can repeat the process to reform the The date and time are set. You can repeat the process to reformat the time. The date and time are set. You can repeat the process to reformat the time. Playing with formulas. What makes Excel useful is its ability to manipulate data by using formulas. Formulas can be as simple as adding two or more numbers together or as complicated as calculating a second-order differential equation. Formulas use data stored in other cells to calculate a new result that appears in another cell. To create even more complicated spreadsheets, you can even make a formula use data from other formulas so that changes in a single cell can ripple throughout an entire spreadsheet. Creating a formulas consist of three crucial bits of information: an equal sign, one or more cell reference, the type of calculation to do on the data, addition, subtraction, and so on. A cell reference is a unique row and column heading that identifies a single cell, such as A4 or D9. The four common calculations that a formula can use are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Percentage, exponentiation, equal, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. A simple formula uses a single mathematical operator and two cell references such as equal A4 addition C7. This formula consists of three parts. The equal sign. This identifies your formula. If you type just A4 addition C7 into a cell. Excel treats it as ordinary text. Two cell reference. In this example, A4 and C7. The addition mathematical operator. To type a formula in a cell, follow these steps. Click in the cell where you want to store the formula. You can also select a cell by pressing the arrow keys. Excel highlights your select cell. Type the equal sign. This tells Excel that you are creating a formula. Type your formula that includes one or more cell references that identify cells that contain data, such as A4 or E8. For example, if you want to add the numbers stored in cells A4 and E8, you would type equal A4 addition E8. Press enter. Typing cell references can get cumbersome because you have to match the row and the column headings of a cell correctly. As a faster alternative, you can use the mouse to click any cell that contains data. Then Excel types that cell reference into your formula automatically. To use the mouse to click cell reference when creating a formula, following these steps. Click in the cell where you want to store the formula. You can also select the cell by pressing the arrow keys. Excel highlights your select cell. Type the equal sign. This tells Excel that anything you type after the equal sign is part of your formula. Type any mathematical operators and click any cells that contain data, such as L6 or M7. If you want to create the formulas equal L6 addition M7, you would do the following. Type equal. This tells Excel that you're creating a formula. Click cell L6. Excel types the L6 cell reference in your formula automatically. Type addition. Click cell M7. Excel types in the M7 cell reference in your formula automatically. Press Enter. After you finish creating a formula, you can type data into the cell reference used in your formula to calculate a new result. Organizing formulas with parentheses. Formulas can be as simple as a single mathematical operator, such as equal D3, multiplication E4. However, you can also use multiple mathematical operators, such as these formulas. There are two problems with using multiple mathematical operators. First, they make a formula harder to read and understand. Second, Excel calculates mathematical operators from left to right based on precedence, which means a formula may calculate results differently than you intend. Precedence tells Excel which mathematical operators to calculate first. For example, Excel calculates multiplication before it calculates addition. If you had a formula like Excel first multiplies A4 multiplication B4 and then adds this result to A3 and B5. Typing parentheses around cell references and the mathematical operators not only organizes your formulas but also tells Excel specifically how you want to calculate a formula. In the example, equal A3 addition A4 multiplication B4 addition B5. Excel multiplies A4 and B4 first. If you want Excel to first add A3 and A4, then add B4 and B5, and finally multiply the two results together, you have to use parentheses like this. Copying formulas. In many spreadsheets, you may need to create similar formulas that use different data. For example, you may have a spreadsheet that needs to add the same number of cells in adjacent columns. You could type nearly identical formulas in multiple cells, but that's tedious and error-prone. For a faster way, you can copy a formula and paste it in another cell. Then Excel automatically changes the cell references. You can see that cell B6 contains the formula equal B2 addition B3 addition B4 addition B5, which simply adds the numbers stored in the four cells directly above the cell that contains the formula. If you copy this formula to another cell, that new formula will also add the four cells directly above it. Copy and paste this formula to C6 cell. and the Excel changes the formula to equal C2 addition C3 addition C4 addition C5. To copy and paste a formula so that each formula changes cell references automatically. Follow these steps. Select the cell that contains the formula you want to copy. Press Ctrl C or click the copy icon under the Home tab. Excel displays a dot line around your select cell. Select the cell or cells where you want to paste your formula. If you select multiple cells, Excel pastes a copy of your formula in each of those cells. Press Ctrl V or click the Paste icon under the Home tab. Excel pastes your formula and automatically changes the cell references. Press ESC or double-click away from the cell with the dot line to make the dot line go away. Using functions. Creating simple formulas is easy, but creating complex formulas is hard. To make complex formulas easier to create, Excel comes with pre-built formulas called functions. Common Excel functions. Average calculates the average value of numbers stored in two or more cells. Count numbers counts how many cells contain a number instead of a label text. Max finds the largest number stored in two or more cells. Min finds the smallest number stored in two or more cells. Round rounds a decimal number to a specific number of digits. Squared calculates the square root of a number. sum, as the values stored in two or more cells. Excel literally provides hundreds of functions that you can use by themselves or as part of your own formulas. A function typically uses one or more cell reference. Single cell reference such as equal, round, C4, 2, which rounds the number found in cell C4 to 2 decimal place. Contiguous adjacent cell ranges such as equal, sum, B2 to B5. Which adds all the numbers found in cells B2, B3, B4, B5. Non-contiguous cell ranges such as sum, B2, B3, B5. Which adds all the numbers found in cells B2, B3, B5. To use a function, follow these steps. Click in the cell where you want to create a formula using a function. Click the Formulas tab. Click one of the following function icons in the Function Library group. Financial calculates business-related equations such as the amount of interest earned over a specified time period. Logical provides logical operators to manipulate true and false, also known as Boolean values. Test searches and manipulates text. Day and time provides day and time information. Lookup and reference provides information about cells, such as their row heading. Math and trick offers mathematical equations. More functions provides access to statistical and engineering functions. Click a function category, such as financial or math and trick. A pull-down menu appears. Click a function. The function arguments dialog box appears. Click the cell references you want to use. Repeat these steps as many times as necessary. Click OK button. Excel displays the calculation of your function in the cell you select. Using functions AutoSum. The quickest calculation that Excel can make is to add a set of selected cells or numbers with the AutoSum feature. AutoSum is really the easiest function in the Excel function library of the Ribbons Formulas tab. Let's practice the example. Click the Formulas tab of the ribbon. Drag through to select the cells you want to add. Click AutoSum. The column of figures is added with the sum placed in the next cell below those selected. Undo Ctrl-Z the AutoSum action from step 3 and reselect. the original cells. Click the auto sum. Click average. The average of the selected values is placed in the next cell below the selected cells. Click to select the cell where the formula should show results and enter an equal sign in the formula bar, followed by the arguments for the formula. For example, subtract cell M6 target revenue from cell L6 actual revenue. The referenced cells in the formula are highlighted in the worksheet. Click the check mark on the formula bar to apply the formula. The formula result is shown in the cell. Click to grab the corner handle of the formula cell. The cursor turns into crosshairs, and you can draw through the other cells where results are desired. The formula is copied with the correct result, reflecting the appropriate cell reference. Click the Autofill options draw-down arrow. Click Copy Cells. Enter a formula that represents a percent or fraction in the formula bar. For example, the percentage of results from the target revenue. In the Home tab, set the number format as general to see the fraction as a decimal. Click the % button to set it as a percentage. The cell formula result reflects the number formatted as percentage. Drag through the other cells to fill in the formula. Click the Formula tab of ribbon. Click to select a cell with formula value and click Trace Precedence. The cells resulting in that formula value are traced. Click to select a cell that is part of a formula and click Trace Dependence. The other cells comprising the formula and the formal result cell are traced. Using recently used functions. Digging through all the different function library menus can be cumbersome. So Excel tries to make your life easier by creating a special recently used list that contains what else? A list of the functions you've used most often. From this menu, you can see just a list of your favorite functions and ignore the other 100 functions that you may never need in a million years. To use the list of recently used functions, follow these steps. Click the cell where you want to store a function. Click the Formulas tab. Click the recently used icon in the Function Library group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose a function. The more functions you use, the more your list will vary from what you see. Editing a formula. After you create a formula, you can always edit it later. You can edit a formula in two places. In the formula bar, in the cell itself. To edit a formula in the formula bar, follow these steps. Select the cell that contains the formula you want to edit. Excel displays the formula in the formula bar. Click in the formula bar and edit your formula by using the backspace and the delete keys. To add a formula in the cell itself, Follow these steps. Double-click in the cell that contains the formula you want to edit. Excel displays a cursor in the cell you select. Edit your formula by using the backspace and delete keys. Because formulas display their calculations in a cell, it can be hard to tell the difference between cells that contain numbers and the cells that contain formulas. To make formulas visible, press this button. Charting and analyzing data. To help you analyze and understand what rows and columns of numbers might mean, Excel can convert data into a variety of charts, such as pie charts, bar charts, and line charts. By letting you visualize your data, Excel helps you quickly understand what your data means, so you can spot trends and patterns. Understanding the parts of a chart. To create charts that clarify your data rather than confuse you even more. You need to understand the parts of a chart and their purpose. Data series. The numeric data that Excel used to create the chart. X-axis defines the width of a chart. Y-axis defines the height of a chart. Legend provides text to explain what each visual part of a chart means. Chart title explains the purpose of the entire chart. Charts typically use two data series to create a chart. For example, one data series may be sales made that month, while a second data series may be the names of each product. The x-axis of such a chart would list the names of different products, while the y-axis would list a range of numbers that represent dollar amounts. The chart itself could display different colors that represent products sold in different months, and the legend would explain what each color represents. By glancing at the column chart, you can quickly identify which products sell best, how each product sells in each month, whether sales of a particular product are improving or getting worse. All this data came from the spreadsheet. By looking at the numbers in this spreadsheet, identifying the above information is nearly impossible. However, by converting these numbers into a chart, identifying this type of information is so simple, even your boss could do it. Although the figure shows a column chart, Excel can create variety of other types of charts so you can look at your data in different ways. Some other types of charts Excel can create include Column chart displays quantities as vertical columns that grow upward, useful for creating charts that compare two items, such as sales per month or sales per salesperson. Line chart displays quantities as lines, essentially shows the tops of a column chart. Area chart, identical to a line chart except that it shares the area underneath each line. Bar chart, essentially a column chart turned on its side where bars grow from left to right. Pie chart compares multiple items in relation to a whole, such as which product sales make up a percentage of a company's overall profits. Excel can create both 2 and 3-dimensional charts. A 3D chart can look neat, but sometimes the 3D visual can obscure the true purpose of the chart, which is to simplify data and make it easy for you to understand in the first place. Creating a chart. Before you create a chart, you need to type in some numbers and identifying labels, because Excel will use those labels to identify the parts of your chart. You can always edit your chart later if you don't want Excel to display certain labels or numbers. To create a chart, follow these steps. Select the numbers and the labels that you want to use to create a chart. Click the Insert tab. A list of chart type icons appears in the Charts group. Click a chart icon such as the pie or line icon. The Create Chart gallery appears. Click a chart type. Excel creates your chart and displays a Chart Tools tab. Editing a chart. After you create a chart, you may want to edit it. Editing a chart can mean moving it to a new location, changing the data source, the numbers that Excel used to create the chart, modifying parts of the chart itself, such as switching to a different chart type, or editing text, such as the chart title or legend. Moving a chart on a worksheet. When you create a chart, Excel plops it right on your display spreadsheet, which may not be exactly where you want it to appear. Excel gives you the option of moving a chart to a different place on the current worksheet page or on a different worksheet page altogether. To move a chart to a different location on the same worksheet, follow these steps. Move the mouse pointer over the border of the chart until the mouse pointer turns into a four-way pointing arrow. Hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse. The chart moves with the mouse. Move the chart where you want it to appear and release the left mouse button. Moving a chart to a new sheet. Rather than move a chart on the same sheet where it appears, you can also move the chart to another worksheet. That way your data can appear on one worksheet, and your chart can appear on another. To move a chart to an entirely different sheet, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to move to another worksheet. The Chart Tools tab appears. Click the Design tab. Click the Move Chart icon in the Location group. The Move Chart dialog box appears. As an alternative these steps, you can right-click a chart. Then, when the pop-up menu appears, choose Move Chart. Select one of the following radio buttons. New Sheet. Create a new worksheet and let you name it. Object in lets you choose the name of an existing worksheet. Click OK button. Excel moves your chart. Resizing a chart. You can always resize any chart to make it bigger or smaller. To resize a chart, follow these steps. Move the mouse pointer over any corner of the chart until the mouse pointer turns into a two-way pointing arrow. Hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse to shrink or expand your chart. Release the left mouse button when you're happy with the new size of your chart. Using the chart tools. As soon as you create a chart or click on an existing chart, Excel displays the Chart Tools category, which displays Design, Layout, and Format tabs. If you click on the Design tab, you will see tools organized into 4 categories. Type lets you change the chart type. Data lets you change the source where the chart retrieves its data or switch the data from appearing along the x-axis to the y-axis and vice versa. Chart layouts lets you change the individual parts of a chart, such as the chart title, X or Y axis labels, or the placement of the chart legend, top, bottom, left, right. Chart styles provides different ways to change the appearance of your chart. Changing the chart type. After you create a chart, you can experiment with how your data may look when displayed as a different chart, such as switching your chart from a bar chart to a pie chart. To change chart types, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to change. The Chart Tools category appears. Click the Design tab under the Chart Tools category. Click the Change Chart Type icon in the Type group. The Change Chart Type dialog box appears. Click a chart type, such as pie or column. The dialog box displays a list of chart designs in the right panel of the dialog box. Click the chart design you want in the right panel. Click OK button. Excel displays your new chart. If you don't like how your chart looks, just press Ctrl Z to return your chart to its original design. Changing the data source. Another way to change the appearance of a chart is to change its data source. The cells that contain the actual data that the chart used. To change a chart's data source, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to change. The Chart Tools category appears. Click the Design tab under the Chart Tools category. Click the Select Data icon in the Data group. The Select Data Source dialog box appears. Click the Shrink dialog box icon to shrink the Change Data Source dialog box so you can see more of your spreadsheet. Select all the cells that contain data to create a chart, including any cells that contain labels, numbers, and formulas. Click OK button. Excel displays your chart. Switching rows and columns. When Excel creates a chart, it displays your data's labels on the X and Y axis. However, you can switch this around, and Excel can show you how your chart may change. To switch the rows and columns used to create a chart, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to change. The Chart Tools category appears. Click the Design tab under the Chart Tools category. Click the Switch Row Column icon in the Data group. Excel switches the X-axis data to appear on the Y-axis and vice versa. Changing the parts of a chart. To make your charts more informative, you can add additional text, such as a chart title, a legend, data labels, axis titles labels, axis, grid lines. With each part of a chart, Excel can either hide it completely or move it to a different location. To modify any part of a chart, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to change. The Chart Tools category appears. Click the Layout tab under the Chart Tools category. Click the icon that identifies the part of the chart you want to modify, such as chart title or axis titles. A menu of different options appears. You can select None. Do not display a chart title. Centered Overlay Title. Overlay centered title on chart without resizing chart. Above chart. Display title at top of the chart area and resize chart. Click an option, such as Above Chart. Excel shows your modified chart. Designing the layout of a chart. Although you could add and modify the individual parts of a chart yourself, such as the location of the chart title or legend, you may find it faster to choose a predefined layout for your chart. To choose a predefined chart layout, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to modify. The Chart Tools category appears. Click the Design tab under the Chart Tools category. Click the More button in the Chart Layouts group. A pull-down menu appears. Click a chart layout. Excel changes your chart. Deleting a chart. Charts may be nice to look at, but eventually you may want to delete them. To delete a chart, follow these steps. Click the chart you want to delete. Press delete. You can also right-click a chart. Then, when the pop-up menu appears, choose Cut. Printing workbooks. After you create a spreadsheet, you can print it out for others to see. When printing spreadsheets, you need to take special care how your spreadsheet appears on a page, because a large spreadsheet will likely get printed on 2 or more sheets of paper. This can cause problems if an entire spreadsheet prints on a one page, but a single row of numbers appears on a second page, which can make reading and understanding your spreadsheet data confusing. When printing spreadsheets, take time to align your data so that it prints correctly on every page. Using Page Layout View. Excel can display your spreadsheets in two ways: Normal View and Page Layout View. Normal View is the default appearance, which simply fills your screen with rows and columns, so you can see as much of your spreadsheet as possible. Page Layout View displays your spreadsheet exactly as it will appear if you print it. Not only can you see where your page breaks occur, but you can also add any headers to the top of your spreadsheet. To switch back and forth from Normal View to Page Layout View, follow these steps. Click the View tab. Click the Normal or Page Layout View icon in the Workbook Views group. You can also click the Normal or Page Layout View icons in the bottom right corner of the Excel window. Adding a header or footer. Headers and footers are useful when printing out your spreadsheet. A header may explain the information in the spreadsheet, such as 2012 tax return information, and a footer may display page numbers. To create a header or footer, follow these steps. Click the Insert tab. Click the header and footer icon in the text group. Excel displays the Design tab and creates a text box for your header and footer. Type your header text in the header text box. Click the Go to Footer icon in the navigation group. Excel displays your footer text box. Type your footer text in the footer text box. If you switch to Page Layout view, you can click directly in the header or footer box at the top or bottom of the page. Printing grid lines. Grid lines appear on the screen to help you align data in rows and columns. However, when you print your worksheet, you can choose to omit grid lines or print them to make your data easier to understand. To print grid lines and or row and column headings, follow these steps. Click the Page Layout tab. Select View or print box under the grid lines category. Select the View or Print box under the heading category, defining a print area. Sometimes you may not want to print your entire spreadsheet, but just a certain part of it, called the print area. To define the print area, follow these steps. Select the cells that you want to print. Click the Page Layout tab. Click the Print Area icon in the Page Setup group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose Set Print Area. Excel displays a dot line around your print area. Click the File tab and then click Print. After you define a print area, you can see which cells are part of your print area by clicking the downward pointing arrow of the name box and choosing Print Area. After you define a print area, you can always add to it by following these steps. Select the cells adjacent to the print area. Click the Page Layout tab. Click the Print Area icon in the Page Setup group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose Add to Print Area. Excel displays a dot line around your newly defined print area. After you define the print area, you can always remove it by following these steps. Click the Page Layout tab. Click Print Area. A pull-down menu appears. Choose Clear Print Area. Defining printing margins. to help you squeeze or expand your spreadsheet to fill a printed page. You can define different margins for each printed page. To define margins, follow these steps. Click the Page Layout tab. Click the Margins icon in the Page Setup group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose a page margin style you want to use. If you choose custom margins, you can define your own margins for a printed page. Defining paper orientation and size. Paper orientation can be either landscape, the paper width is greater than its height, or portrait mode, the paper width is less than its height. Paper size defines the physical dimensions of the page. To change the paper orientation and size, follow these steps. Click the Page Layout tab. Click the orientation icon in the Page Setup group. A pull-down menu appears. Choose Portrait or Landscape. Click the Size icon in the Page Setup group. A pull-down menu appears. Click a paper size. Printing in Excel. When you finish defining how to print your spreadsheet, you'll probably want to print it eventually. To print a worksheet, follow these steps. Click the File tab. Click Print. The print preview appears in the right pane. Click the print icon near the top of the middle pane.